Hi, Rhett, aka Trim here. Wanted to welcome you guys to the site. Um, Address a pretty big issue, just the overall what is Immaculate Perceptions. And I'm going to have all of our illuminators kind of explain it in their own words because it means something a little bit different to each person. I had the other day a guy I met ask me, what makes you think you can open a self-help firm? Other than the idea that that's a completely demoralized comment because it shows a lack of confidence in his ability to follow through on what he wants to do. I answered like this. I said, let me give you an example. I said, all right. I was like, now, don't hold back and be as honest with me as you can. Tell me what you think of my appearance. Just lay into it. Good, bad, doesn't matter. And he's like, really? And I was like, yeah. And he went into it. Just boom, boom, boom. When he was done, I said, okay. And I said, the reason I can have a self-help firm is because if I did that to you, you would think about it for weeks, if not months. And the reason I can have a self-help firm is because I'm going to sleep like a baby tonight. So what we focus on with that story is a sense of freedom. And you're going to hear the term social mobility. You're going to hear the terms control, maximized happiness. All of these things are interlaced into our social prowess. The social dynamics through interaction, going out, bettering your life. We've discerned a way to accomplish all these things through the technologies we use, and it's all very social based. So what is Immaculate Perceptions? Well, we're a self-help firm that empowers people to live a life so far beyond what they could even expect right now. Just the maximized happiness, and talk to some of the people that have shared experiences with us, and you'll see that there's a level of happiness so far beyond what people that are already thinking, oh, I don't need self-help, and I don't even like the term self-help, or, I'm already happy. There's a level of happiness where every day of your life is better than the one before it. And it's not about going out and for guys, it's not about just going out and getting women, or for women, it's not about just going out and getting guys. It's about being able to wake up every day and live a life where that day is better than the one before it. And at Immaculate Perceptions, we strive to give you a social mobility. And by social mobility, I'm talking about a freedom of limiting beliefs, social pressures, social judgments. All these things are placed on us. And in fact, it dictates a lot of individuals' behaviors. And so we have developed technologies on how to eliminate those, how to be non-responsive to those, so that I can, an example for myself, I can go out and interact with people, and if someone says a negative comment to me, I'm unaffected by it, or I'll allow myself to take that negative comment and turn it into a way to help empower them. You'll notice everything we do, all of our illuminators, once you hear us talking in the live interaction podcast especially, you'll hear us talk a lot about stereotypes and how we shatter stereotypes. And that's just part of being mobile. There's not a certain category you can place any of our illuminators into, and it's because we don't believe, we're beyond that now. We're to a point where we literally can go out and interact with any group of individuals. And that's another example of mobility. Any group of individuals in our society I can interact freely with. And I can move amongst them. And I can be non-affected by what people think of me. Social mobility is not caring what people think about you. Because you know that you're conveying a level of control over every aspect of your life. So, Immaculate Perceptions, we teach how to, not even teach, we empower you. We just bring to light the ways to have complete control over every aspect of your life. And yes, it's possible. Believe me. Every aspect. Social mobility, we use that control to gain social mobility, to not let social judgments or pressures dictate our behavior or our decisions. And once you do that, you become an individual where you're making your own decisions for yourself, for your happiness. And so now you're empowered to live at a level of happiness where every area of your life's balanced, because it's not getting thrown out of balance by these social pressures and judgments. Immaculate Perceptions is revolutionizing the self-help industry. Because until now, everything else has been focused on the self, right? So the book I'm working on is going to go into detail over all of this, but then we also branch out with our other illuminators and their specialties. But from my aspect, and like I said, it means a little bit different to every person. We just empower those people that we work with to find what it means to them. And so what I do with Immaculate Perceptions is empower you guys to gain complete control over every aspect of your life, use that control to have social mobility, and then use that social mobility to live maximized happiness every day, better than the one before it. And it's possible. And we're seeing and finding that our systems, our technologies, they work. And I invite you guys to come check them out. And the site's free. Sign up on the site and take in as much of that free information as possible. That's another way. Like I was saying, we're revolutionizing the industry. No other self-help firm is going to give you 52 hours a year minimum of podcast coverage. Another 26 hours a year minimum of video blog coverage. And all of this stuff is stuff that's already above what's on the shelves that you would have to go pay for. So, all the other self-help firms, and I'm not talking down on them, I'm just explaining the differences between ourselves. Because I don't even consider it a self-help firm, because what we're doing is so revolutionary and so different. We're not just showing you how to better yourself, because you can only do so much to better yourself until you understand where yourself is placed relative to that of your surroundings, which is our society. So, instead of just focusing on one aspect, the self, which is, we're to the point where we're just repeating information. All these books are the same. Just better yourself, just different words, different diction, different story, backed by historical references, different ones, so that you buy the different books. And while we do a little bit of that, we focus more broadly on the system we're placed in. Because you can't have complete control over every aspect of your life by just focusing on yourself. You have to focus on the externalities coming in on your life, the things putting pressure on it, the things that put you in a bad mood, the things that put you in a good mood. And so, by focusing on all these different systems, the system that you're in, we can identify every aspect of life and how to use our technologies to gain the most happiness out of that. And it's pretty amazing stuff. No other firms really approached it this way. And that's why I say I hate to call it self-help, because it's really, it's more of a self-empowerment. We don't say, here is, do this, this, and this, and this, and this. We show you guys the systems that are in place, how they're working, and we don't tell you what to do this way or this way. That's not, we show you what this will lead to versus what this will lead to. And I think what we're doing with providing everything for free on the site just sharing with you guys a plethora of information that's going to be monumentally above what's already there, let alone for free. And so then when you might be wondering why we can do that. Well, then when we do work with someone on an individual basis, it's almost like getting the foundational framework set. So when we work with you as an individual, or we come and do a seminar, or we do a book that, and it gets on the shelves, you already have a basic understanding of all this stuff, and the things that we are developing right now and getting ready to publish, which I'm very excited about. It's game changing. It's revolutionary. It's so far beyond what's ever been presented before. That's why we can share with you. We have so much information that we can literally put something out every day from now and to the next 2 years. But to address, to reference the story earlier with how can you open your own self-help firm, we're so familiarized with the system, the interdependencies, and how it operates and staying in balance that we can put something out every day. And since we're so developed already, we're just continuing to grow and continuing to innovate, that we can do it for free. Because unlike the current industry of self-help, where it's the same information released in a different format or a different way, it's new information that's never been presented to the world. It's never been brought to light. We're on the forefront of a social revolution, and we're leading it. So I invite you guys to sign up now. It's Trim. I love you guys.